What is happening, people? Welcome back to another weekend with your dose of Delboy. And today we are in the know with David Grant. How are you, my brother?
I'm good, thank you. Good. How are you?
I'm not too bad, man. I'm not too bad. Lockdown, I want to be on holiday. I won't even lie to you. I feel like I say this every single
Definitely.
time, but I want to be on holiday. I'm tired of London. I'm tired of London. I'm tired of England. I'm just tired. I'm tired of it being 4 p.m. and it's so dark. I'm tired of not waking up in a beat.
I just need a rave or something, man. It's the worst.
I haven't been to the clubs I feel like I haven't been like clubbing since like February or something.
Yeah,
I haven't proper gone out to enjoy myself.
Well, not even a club. Like, just give me a dirty field and, just some lights and loud music, just something, But yeah, it's crazy.
How you been coping during this lockdown?
Training, some training's been going on, obviously socially distanced and all compliant with the regulations and stuff. Loads of people are putting in, schools are putting in codes of conduct and everything, to make sure that we're compliant with the government rules, compliant with the speaking out movement and everything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like training, banging my head off against the wall.
Yeah.
Just raring to go, and it's rough, because my social life was built around going out, seeing mates, like festivals, raves, that sort of thing. So yeah, it's dead. Like,
it's tough, man. It's absolutely tough. But I mean, well, I don't even know. Hopefully, things have to get better. I don't know what more could happen. But before we get into like any of the meat and bones of things, I like to do like a little icebreaker to kind of like lighten up the mood a little bit, kind of get people to know a bit about you outside of wrestling and just to kind of gauge the type of person you are. So today's icebreaker is, what's the most ridiculous thing your parents ever did to embarrass you?
So I was talking with my mum about this the other day. When I was younger, I used to go see like a lot of live music, specifically like drum and bass, rock bands. And my dad gave me a lift to a venue and hit someone's car right outside the venue.
Oh, wow.
And I was sitting in the vehicle and I just died inside.
Well, how did that happen though?
He went down a dead end, realised he couldn't get out, reversed, didn't pay attention, hit someone's car, and I'm just there like, there's girls there, and like I was like 14, so I'm like, trying to like be cool, like, nah. Just killed it. Like the whole night I spent like just with a hood up, like no one looking at me.
That is jokes. So let's get into it. David Grant, aka, actually, before we even get into that, Dark Fruits Daddy. How did that become your moniker?
So it might hit a question that you got later. But before wrestling, I spent a bit of time around wrestlers.
Okay.
Being friends with them. And like parties, after, so I regularly wrestled at Sacrifice Pro or wrestled at Sacrifice Pro before lockdown. They'd used to go to the pub after the show. So we'd go for food and I'd always have a Dark Fruits, always. It's just a thing, like I've always drank it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I just thought, well, I'm not exactly a skinny guy. I've got a bit of meat on me. So it's like, that's where the daddy comes from, the dad bod.
Yeah.
And then the Dark Fruits thing is literally just, there was a point in time and there is a point in time when I was obsessed with it and I've constantly ordered it.
Yeah.
To the point that it just became like a moniker. So then when I transitioned into the ring, it made perfect sense. And yeah, like as I said, like I go to festivals and stuff quite a lot. So like, yeah, like just constantly hammering cans. That's what it is.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm not really a drinker myself, but I've tried Dark Fruits a few times and I do understand why you'd like it. It tastes like Ribena. It literally tastes like Ribena.
That's the thing, like you can have a lot of it. and not ruin your life so much.
Yeah,
Like,
you just need to piss. That's about it. You just need to piss after you had a few cans, but other than that, it's not a bad drink. But let's rewind a little bit. Let's go back to like earlier days. Obviously, I'm sure you grew up on wrestling. What was some stuff that you watched growing up?
So I was a WCW kid.
Oh, wicked! Same as me.
When they used to show it free on Channel 4 and Channel 5.
Yeah.
And then when Cartoon Network used to change to TNT as well. So that's how old I am when we had NTL.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to watch WCW with my dad. I used to go home from work. Used to sit in front of the TV. It'd be like Red Dwarf, Robot Wars, and then WCW. And I just remember just Goldberg and Kevin Nash. They're the two that stood out. That was, that was like my childhood.
Yeah. Were there any like defining moments that made you like think to yourself like, okay, this is something like this is what I want to actually pursue now. I want to become a wrestler.
Not till I met wrestlers.
Yeah.
I loved it as a kid. So like between, I'd say from the ages of like 12 to about 16, wrestling wasn't on the cards. It was uncle, like I kind of fell out of love with it.
Yeah.
As a lot of people do. It starts being a cool thing. Girls, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Becomes more important.
Yeah.
So, wrestling took a backseat. I remember on one of my first games consoles, I got WCW Mayhem on that.
What a game!
And there was, I rebought it because nostalgia. And the opening sequence is like Goldberg being built in like 3D.
Oh yeah.
And like he loses it, it goes mental, like breaks the lab up, and I always thought that was so cool. Like it's kind of like a superhero, like it's something like Wolverine would do.
Yeah.
So
100%.
I always thought that like it was superheroes. It's on TV. It's not real. Like it's not something that a guy from Britain can do. Although there was British people, they were few and far between. So like it wasn't something I ever thought I could do until I met wrestlers and understood what was going on, and as an adult viewed what they were doing, and like picked it apart, like getting the inside terminology and understanding the psychology of it all. That was when I realized I could probably do this.
Yeah.
So
and so fast forward when did you start training?
I don't know. What is it, 2020 now? So it would be like 3.5 years ago, maybe 4.
Okay.
Yeah. So not that long ago. But I've been around a lot, if that makes sense. Like a lot of guys start somewhere and I'll stay there, and then I'll get to a level and then go off. I've kind of been all over the shop, especially the Midlands.
Yeah.
Doing seminars, doing training. So like I've been to multiple training schools, just trying to get variation in my game. So it's been a few years now, actually, which is weird to think about because it all kind of seems like one.
Yeah.
It's like you just don't stop. Obviously, now we have stopped.
Yeah.
But it's just like there's no off season. There's nothing to break it up. Like it's work, and then like a big show, and then more work. But there's nothing to you don't stop and go, oh, it's been a year, or it's one of those things. You're constantly on the road, constantly trying to get better.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. So one question I wanted to ask, I have to always ask this, but how was it taking your first bump?
So my first bump was on it was on a crash mat.
Okay.
But it was on the top floor of a boxing gym with like concrete floors and jigsaw mats. So it was like concrete floor, jigsaw mat, then a crash mat.
Yeah.
The crash mat had been beat. Are we allowed to swear on this?
Yeah, of course.
So it had the shit beat out of it. Like the stuffing was all over the place. It wasn't, it'd been through some shit. It's in the wars. So like you hit it once and it's fine. But as soon as you hit it once, after then, like the stuffing had moved to the side.
Yeah.
So like first time was great. The second one, I just felt like a lot of people say I feel like winded. It wasn't like winded. It was just like I just felt all the muscles go. Like it was just like everything like tense, like a contraction.
Yeah.
So yeah, the first one wasn't bad. The second one was worse. Like the first training session, I remember, was obviously I went through a lot of basics and stuff. Obviously, because I'm completely novice. But I didn't find it as hard as I built it up in my mind. I had a fear of like having no cardiovascular ability. I didn't think I was strong enough, which is kind of weird because when I go out towards the scene now, like I'm one of the taller guys. I'm one of the bigger guys in the scene.
You're like 6'5", right?
Yeah.
That's it. I wish I was that tall.
And hitting like 300 pounds. So it's like, yeah. Yeah, like I don't know, like I always thought like wrestlers would be like 7 foot tall, jacked muscle heads, roid heads. So that, like when I started meeting them and that, it wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
But when I went to my first training session, I was like, no, they're gonna make it tough. Like I've heard stuff, but like they're gonna beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
They're gonna see if you want it and stuff. But the first session was actually fine. It's thereafter when they're drilling you and yeah. Then it's when it sucks. But yeah.
So as time went on, did you have to kind of like build up your cardiovascular, or was it just a thing of it just naturally came?
It's a weird one, wrestling cardiovascular. We call it gas. Your gas. It's a weird one. Wrestling gas, like it's really hard to replicate. Most people do circuits. A lot of people do run, but it's not like running it's not like running at all because it's stop, start, impact. Like it's not just continuous running. It's not like lifting continuously. It's not even like resistance training. It's a combination of things. So like your body adapts to it, and like it's all. I don't know how to explain it. It's just something that you kind of build from doing. It's not something you can prepare for, really.
Yeah.
Not in my mind, anyway.
Okay, that makes sense.
Especially with rope running, like hitting the ropes and stuff. Like you could give me someone that could run a marathon, but as soon as they hit the ropes, like, and you're taking that on your back, and you're trying to like keep your breathing and keep your timing and everything, it's one of those things that a lot of people do struggle with. But when you get it and you can throw yourself into them and keep your pace, keep your breathing, which is so important in wrestling, then yeah, it comes to you. It's always building. You're trying to build up your ring shape, essentially. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense because at one stage in my life, I actually want to do some sort of like wrestling training because I actually want to wrestle one match. That's it. I just want to wrestle one match, win it, and retire undefeated. That's literally what I want to do. So hopefully, I don't know when things will go back to normal, but that is my plan. I did initially because I'm in a feud with me and Mark Jindrak had a like bit of war of words online a few weeks ago. So I do want to have a match against him so I can beat him. But I feel like he's running away from me. But who knows? We'll see what happens.
He's probably hiding behind his sofa, to be honest.
I would too if I was him, but what can we really do, man? So another question I actually wanted to ask of you: what is like? How would you describe the Midlands up north scene, wrestling scene?
It's broken. So the Midlands is, I would say that you've got the West Midlands scene.
Okay.
And then you've got like an East Midlands, Central Midlands scene. And then we're completely separate from the North.
Yeah.
So the North, you do have like a load of good wrestlers, and a lot of them come down. Same with London, they come up. But I think as a scene, it's broken as a territory into like West and East.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys that work like the Coventry within that area, and the same with the East Midlands. Like you've got like the Nottingham guys, Leicester, all the way down to like Northampton, and like Milton Keynes, Bedford, them sort of areas.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a mishmash of people. There's a lot of what's the word? Connections between that sort of area, but it's kind of like that corridor on the M1.
Okay, yeah.
Because as soon as you step away from that and you go out towards like the Peterborough, or even like in the same county, like Kettering, Corby, I know there's companies over there that a lot of people that I know from like Northampton, Bedford don't go to. So it's kind of like, it is very territorial still, which is very weird when you think about it in British wrestling.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'd say like the style of shows that I work on are very like indie family sort of shows. You do have a lot of families there, but they're usually quite smart to what's going on, and built over time. Whereas, yeah, you get a lot of shows that are very like family orientated as well. But they tend to not be around this area as such. You have to like travel for those, they call like the camp shows and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, do you do a lot of camp shows like the Butlins and the Bognor Regises?
I don't. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
That's one of that was the goals for 2020.
Yeah.
But look where we are now.
Unfortunate, man. That would have been a great experience as well. Like even a few of the wrestlers I've spoken to, and even referees, like they've just spoken to me about how it is such a vital stepping stone. A lot of people really sleep on it. It's not something that a lot of wrestlers tend to want to do because they feel like they can just skip it. But we had people like Daniel Bryan, Dash Wilder that even came to like England to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, you got like Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and that they all started.
Yeah.
I think they were all stars.
Yeah.
So like it's the bread and butter of the British scene, and a lot of people do neglect it and think the money's to be made in the indie scene, but you can't get to them levels if you're not working every day, sometimes twice a day.
Yeah.
On these camps. So yeah, they're like so important.
Yeah.
And it's like a real career goal of mine to get on them and just to learn, because you could be working with the same guy every day, and you can do the same match, but you improve the match. You learn how each other works. You learn their psychology, and you can get to a point where like you don't even need to talk or do anything. You just like same match, yeah. You read each other, and you get that real chemistry going as well, which you don't really get if you turn up to a show. You drove 2 hours, drove 2 hours to a show. You say hi 10 minutes before, and then you're just like, okay, is there anything you want to do? And it's like you don't get the time to learn and build a chemistry.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense. One thing I wanted to quickly touch upon was your match against Sunset Skip.
Yes.
And not just the match. I think another thing that caught me by surprise was your entrance music. It just caught me by surprise. I wasn't expecting it. Was it? I'm trying to think. Was Koji Radical on that song? I can't remember.
Yeah. So, yeah. Like I've been a massive Shy FX fan like since back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, I think I've seen them 5, 6 times.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like when I say I miss the raves, I miss raves.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, like back in the day with like Original Nutter, and then like all the way through to like Shake Your Body was obviously a pop tune.
Yeah.
But you got the songs with like T-Power and that. Like, yeah, I love Shy-FX. And when they released the EP, yeah, I just love that EP anyway. Like the features on it and everything. Like there's a song with I can't even say it. Cara Delevingne or whatever
Cara
it is.
Delevingne, yeah.
Yeah, there's a song with her on it. There's a song with Lily Allen on it. Like it's like it's British. Like there's so many cultures, so many sounds. You've got like grime artists. You've got like dancehall influences. You've got like a bit of reggae, a bit of drum and bass. There's like touches of jungle as well. Like
it's proper melting pot of music.
Yeah, that's what I like about music as well. I like artists that step out and do something different. And yeah, as I said, like I've been a Shy-FX fan for so long as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, like when I heard it, because I remember when that EP came out, I just didn't stop playing it at all. And there were 2 songs of theirs that I was thinking about using. And yeah, this one just, I don't know, it just portrays like calm but deadly.
Yeah.
That sort of, and that's kind of what I want to be like. I'm a big guy. I'm not going to come out. I'm not going to hit the ring super fast. I'm not going to be doing crazy flips and stuff. It's going to be calm, calculated, but it's going to be destructive. It's going to be bad most of the time. Nobody wants me to be a happy guy. Nobody wants me to be good.
Yeah, but you'd think with a name like Dark Fruits Daddy, that's kind of like, not to say that's like a happy-go-lucky person, but that's just like, for me, when I hear that, I think of someone that's just like, oh, that's just someone I see at the pub and he's just a cool guy, you know, he wants to bite everyone around. Like, that's the type of vibe I get from that. But even from watching the match and just seeing the way you came into the ring, it made me realize like, oh, there's something a bit more to him. He's not as happy-go-lucky as his name assumes.
Yeah. See, influences for the character is very much Friday Night Lads, scrappy, see him in town, probably be in the middle of a fight, like that sort of vibe.
Yeah.
So that's what I take from like big party boy, but also a bit of a dickhead, a bit of a bully. So yeah, like when I heard the music, which was before wrestling, I realized that it's what I wanted. So yeah, that was the influences behind that song.
That's wicked. So another thing in terms of influences we can speak on quickly is who do you really say influences your style of wrestling? Because you have a very like classic Hoss style of wrestling. I feel like nowadays a lot of the bigger men are geared more towards like showing how athletic they are. It's like a hybrid of for them. It's like a hybrid of showing how athletic they are, but also how strong they are. But for you, it doesn't seem as if, I don't think you care about the athletic side. You just want to show how bad you are, how strong you are. So are there anybody that you've looked at and thought to yourself, you know what, this is someone I kind of want to take influence from?
Yeah, I do like doing the athletic stuff. Like I do a vault into the ring and stuff, but I never have to do it. Like most of the time I could just throw someone as far as I want. So most of the time I love Kevin Nash. Like just the assuredness, the cockiness, you know, like is like what? I don't even know how tall he is, like 7 foot.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
like something.
Yeah, call himself Big Sexy. Like that's me, man. That's what I'm about. So yeah, like I love that. Yeah, a little bit of Kevin Nash. A lot of people now tend to go towards like the Japanese style of wrestling. Whereas I kind of like the old school NWA big guy wrestling, or old WWE wrestling. So yeah, like I often look at like Tenta and stuff as well when he came back from Japan.
Yeah.
So like he had the athleticism, but it wasn't needed because he wasn't dropping people on their heads every 5 minutes. He was, like just throwing people about and being a big guy. Obviously, no pole matches in my future, but but yeah, like those two, Tenta and Nash.
Yeah, that's dope.
Mostly.
Any hopes to potentially, well, obviously when the lockdown is done and all the borders across the world are open, are there any like hopes to potentially wrestle abroad? If there is any specific countries, I'm sure America's probably definitely on the list. Maybe possibly Japan, but are there any other countries possibly?
Yeah, I'd love to wrestle Germany. Germany be one. I hear they have really good beer. Yeah, I'd like, like the Netherlands as well. Like I've been told there's a good scene there, and Amsterdam might be a good place to go.
Yeah.
I hear there's good clubs in Amsterdam. But no, like seriously, like I'd love to wrestle in Europe. It's one of those things. My travel experience has been very limited to France and Belgium, so
yeah,
like I'd love to go over like France or Belgium. I'd love to wrestle there, see what that's like. Wrestling is like universal though, so
yeah,
I'm sure it'd be great. But yeah, so Europe would be first on my list, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like Japan would be amazing. The food is insane.
Yeah.
I'm a big ramen fan, so I'd love to go there. I love anime and stuff as well.
Yeah.
And the wrestling's cool, like really cool as well. I love like DDT, like some of the DDT stuff. Like it's just so stupid that it's
insane,
amazing. Like, have you seen the elephant? Like they go to the elephant sanctuary.
Oh yeah.
That kills me. And like the water park one as well, where they're doing figure fours down the slides. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
I love stupid wrestling. It tickles me. It's what I like to watch.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd love to travel abroad.
Yeah, no, that would be sick. Proper sick. And just to wrap things up, I tend to do this thing called set the scene, where I give you we basically come up with a dream scenario for you, and you just have to let me know if that's what you want. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do your dream match against your dream opponent in your dream venue at your dream event.
Okay.
So
does it have to like?
It could be anywhere in the world. It could be any match. It's not limited to anything.
Okay. All right.
So your dream match against your dream opponent, again in your dream venue at your dream event.
So my dream match would it wouldn't be like a famous wrestler. It'd be like my best friend. I'd love to wrestle Kyle Kingsley. Literally, like, because he's the guy who brought me through, taught me loads, took me everywhere. It would just be like a payoff sort of thing, like, just to beat the shit out of each other in front of thousands of people. And it'd have to be Tokyo Dome. Yeah, Wrestle Kingdom. Just the size of it, like,
it's crazy.
Like, just looking around, like, yeah, I'd love to do that. But yeah, that yeah, I think that would be it. Yeah, that would, like, it's a little bit personal and a little bit like goals as well. Like, just to say you main evented in front of however many thousand people
with your best friend as well.
Yeah, like
the amount of storytelling you can do with it alone is, the possibilities are limitless. You can do so much with it. So
yeah, I've got like the pictures, materials ready, so I could build a hype video. Yeah, like yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, man, this has been sick, man. We definitely have to do it again. It's been proper sick chatting with you. Would you like to give the people your socials so they can follow you and where they can hit you up?
Yeah, so Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter is at David Grant PW. Do you want to plug merch as well?
Yeah, by all means. We're going to have everything in the description as well.
Sweet. I also have merch on the On The Gear web service, where you can order t-shirts. There's loads of great wrestlers on there. I've got 2 designs on there. So yeah, if you could hit that up as well and hook me up, that'd be great.
Make sure you guys follow him. Make sure you guys grab some merch as well. Make sure you guys are supporting independent wrestlers. This has been In The Know with Delboy. And we'll see you guys next week. Bow.